So in this tutorial I'm going to show you 3 different variations of basic love hearts that you can make for beginners. They're very simple, very easy. There's only this one which has a bit of extra wire wrapping for extra detail, otherwise they are very simple, perfect for beginners, especially if you don't have a lot of energy, because they are so simple. So if you want to know how to make these, then keep watching. So today I'm going to show you how to make some love hearts, and I'm going to show you a few different versions. The first one, we're going to take about 20 centimetres and we're going to find the centre point and simply kink, make a right angle, whatever you want to call that. And then we're going to go in with our round nose pliers and we're going to twist. And we're just starting to make a coil, and we bring it around, and then we just tighten this coil up. Now it's up to you if you want to leave that open. I would suggest hammering it and filing so that the sharp point doesn't won't cut the person that wears it. And we're literally just going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. And then you simply just adjust for the size that you want. And then taking a thinner gauge, it's up to you, and a length, you very easily just wrap the two together. So anchoring the wire to one of the sides, and then wrapping both parts together. And finishing around one of the two, and then cutting the wire off. And same on the other side. And then very simply you just use a jump ring or make your own jump ring. I'm just going to actually make a few of these because in the ones next I'm just going to use jump rings again. And then you would just attach that to a cord. So that's option one, incredibly easy, and hence it being a beginner's tutorial. Next we're going to use our 1mm again, and the length you take depends entirely on the size that you want to make. We're going to take about 7 centimetres twice. I'm using 1mm, but you could use get away with a 0.8 for this. Probably wouldn't use a 0.6 as it wouldn't have the same strength. Okay, in the same way we did before, we're going to coil. I'm going to cut off that straight bit and then coil some more. And I'm going to do the same on the other end. Okay, and in the same way I suggested for this one, I would hammer this and possibly file the edges, and I'm going to do the exact same with this opposite piece. And then you would just adjust them to be about the same size. And in the same way we did before, we're going to take a thinner gauge of wire and we're going to connect these parts. Okay, I'm just going to do it on the open area so that it's easier for me. Okay, and there I am, just anchoring those bits together. Then you trim off the excess wire. And then we do the same at the top and attach those bits together. You can obviously take your time, make sure they match if you want it perfectly, or with mine it's a little bit more organic. Now this one can still slip, so as I have done in previous tutorials, you might wish to wrap the whole frame so that the wire doesn't move. It's entirely up to you. They are connected and they're not going to disconnect, it's just that they can move around slightly. But that's entirely up to you. Personally, I don't really mind it doing that. but if you wanted to, you could do single loops across the whole bit. And then again, attach a jump ring. Okay, so that's option 2. Now we're going to do option 3. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to take a length of around 35 centimetres. This is 1mm wire, and on one side I'm going to take, in the exact same way we did for this part of the tutorial, when we've got the 10 centimetres and we've curled it round, we're going to do that. So we're going to make a right angle again, and then using our nose pliers, we are going to create our love heart. But unlike before where we left this open, we're actually going to close that. Okay, and then on the other side we are going to mould it so that we're kind of getting this circular shape, and your aim is to try and match it as much as you can. It's not going to be perfect obviously unless you were to form it around something, which I'm not going to do here, so I'm not after perfect, I'm just after unique, letting the wire do what it wants. And then I'm gonna this out, open that back up again, go back through it, close it once more, so there we have the start of the love heart, well, the frame. What we're going to do now is we're going to create some loops for putting beads into to attach so that they're actually in the love heart. Now initially I really wanted to do this as a chakra pendant, and I do have a little tray especially for all this, but I can't find it, so I can't do that today unfortunately. Murphy's Law, that when obviously the one time I actually want to use it, I can't find it anywhere, so I'm just going to have to show you substitutes just for putting beads in general, but I'm going to do it as though I were going to do that. So I'm going to have 7 loops, which is for the 7 chakras. So that was my idea behind this and creating the tutorial, but unfortunately, like I say, that's not been possible. So I'm going to take one of the loops, and start creating. Now I was going to use chips, so creating a small loop. So I'm using the smallest of the steps. If you are obviously going to use bigger beads, say you know, some bigger ones, this is my previous tutorial I saw about, you would use obviously larger loops to fit them through, and then you might even decide to, you know, put them either side rather than doing it exactly how I'm going to do it. So that's just something to consider. You don't have to do it exactly how I'm doing it, it's just an idea. And then sit them down next to one another, and then again, and you're just going to repeat this. I'm doing it 7 times, but you can do it as many or as few as you want. And you can do this in a straight line or in a strange pattern. Like I say, it's all up to you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 7. And then I'm going to decide where I want this to sit. Probably about there, so I'm going to move this over with the wire and then bend it back. Okay, and using my round nose pliers here, I'm going to create a loop. Okay, try not to distort any of the other ones while you're doing it. Okay, and then going back in again, just going to close this up like you would a jump ring. So as you can see, we've now got our frame and a frame for adding in beads. And like I said, I did originally want to do this as a chakra, but I can't find them, so I'm just going to have to use what I do have to hand. So at this point I'm going to take a length of thinner gauge wire. I'm using 0.315, which is I think 28, and I'm just going to take a length of 40 centimeters, which will be too much, but it depends how many times you choose to secure this. That will change how it sits in the end. So I'm actually going to secure it to the wire, this wire, through the loop that we created that connects the 2 wires together. And I haven't closed it properly, so that was just able to slip out. So that was something I hadn't noticed. So let's just make sure that we close this properly. Okay, then I'm going to do that again. I'm just anchoring it to here. You could anchor it on, you know, this one or that one. I just want to give it that little bit of extra security. That's the only reason I'm doing this. And I'm gonna come back up here I'm just going to wrap it around, if you can see here, this bit of wire before we begin, just so that those are extra connected. No other reason than that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go up through this first loop. Now be careful not to kink the wire. Down, and then I'm going to go back up through. Now if you wanted to take a longer length and wrap each side of these, you can. I'm not going to do that for this tutorial just because, well, I'm running out of energy, quite frankly. And past that, I'm sure you guys know what to do. So I'm just going to take some, again, used this in a previous tutorial, so I'm just going to borrow some of these that I have to hand. These are just some, I think these are Ocean Jasper I just picked, and they're 3mm. And you want it to sit in the loop you've created. So we're going to go through the heart, and then we're going to come back up through that loop to fix it in place. And whichever way you're going, because we're going to be going this way, make sure that you wrap it that way, otherwise you're going to end up coming back on yourself. Which, I mean, it's not exactly a big deal, but it's just something to consider. And I'm going to do 2 loops just to make it extra secure. The wire really doesn't want to behave today, it seems. Probably because it knows this wasn't my original idea. Oh well. And then I'm gonna do a wrap around. If you can see where the wire is there, I'm just going to do a wrap around there. So we've got our first bead in place. Like I said, you could wrap each of them for extra security. Then I'm going to go into the next. Okay, my hands are shaking. Okay, and then we can put another bead on. And basically that's just what we're going to do until the end of the loops. So I'll fast forward it so you're not just watching me thread loads of beads on. As with my dexterity issues, that can take some time. All we're going to do is just make sure that they sit in the right place, and exactly the same as we did with the first one, that's it. So I'll fast forward it now. Okay, so once we've finished wrapping our beads along, what we're going to do then is finish off the wire by just wrapping it around the part here at the end, and you can go through the little loop that we've created if you so wish. Okay, and then we're just going to cut that off. Same on the far side. So there you have it, and then you would just use a jump ring. Just attach a jump ring and then attach it to a cord. Now if you wanted to leave it as that, if you wanted to do single loops all the way around, if you might even want to take another bit of wire, I'll just show you this as a quick option. Take off that deformed jump ring. And what you could do as well is actually have beads going around the edge. So if we anchored on some wire here and then took some of the beads. Now you could have, instead of even doing them in the middle, you could have done it all the way around instead. Apologies, my ability to thread beads is not good today. So you could have done it around the frame, and you could do this with any of the options I've shown you today, and just have them going around like so. So that's just another little thing I wanted to add at the end here, so that you knew, you know, these are beginner tutorials, but you can build on them, you can put your own flair to them, and you can alter them in whichever way you want. Jewellery making is fun in that way, and that you can do whatever you want. So those are our 3 options. I hope you've liked this video. Like I say, it's just a beginner's tutorial. Very simple, very easy, and I will do more advanced versions if people are interested, which will involve a lot of wire wrapping. Just comment below if you want to see that, or if you want some more beginners. I know these were requested, a lot of different beginner tutorials, so that's why I've been doing these. So you guys let me know, okay? And that's everything for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support me, and I always like to mention that I do have a Facebook group. If you guys want to come and join, that would be amazing. So that's it for today. Hopefully I've got a few more tutorials coming up next week, including a review Tuesday, the first one. I'm finally going to get that done. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Love yous, bye.